and found the engineering prototype of the Lenovo Legion Go 2. Announced at CES 2025, it's expected around September if not cancelled. This handheld console with an OLED screen's main upgrade in this second version is the display. So when I saw it on Xianyu, I grabbed it. The retail version hasn't even been released, but engineering samples are already sold on Xianyu. Let's look at the specs. This unit is from Xianyu, not the one releasing at CES 2025. And the appearance is exactly the same as this one. The main feature is the OLED screen, and this screen is made by Samsung. It's really clear and vibrant. Now, let's take another look at the specs. 930 grams. If you remove the controllers, 725 grams. According to the official website, the listed weight without the controllers is 890 grams, so it's lighter. With controllers removed, it's only 724 grams, lighter than the prototype shown at the expo. It has an 8.8-inch 1200p OLED screen with 144 Hz refresh rate, and this screen supports VRR. That's variable refresh rate. Yeah, I tested this screen. It's a Samsung panel, and the pixel arrangement is excellent. It's an RGB layout with no loss, like the NSO and FTO. Same arrangement, same manufacturer. You can take a look. Variable refresh rate, 144 Hz, and it's an RGB layout. I checked the arrangement myself. I can't find the microscope I used these past couple of days, so I used something else. The red, green, and blue are in a 1:1 RGB arrangement, and the pixels are square, good quality. Samsung's RGB layout, OLED screen. Right now, only Samsung and Red Magic Squashing are using this kind of lossless OLED screen, so this display is really excellent, super clear, and it doesn't have the broken line or loss issues you see with traditional OLEDs. The resolution is completely lossless on this screen. It also comes with HDR certification, and when you turn on HDR, the colors don't change at all. They don't get washed out or turn gray. You can just turn it on directly. HDR works perfectly when enabled. Junior, the colors stay exactly the same. With HDR on, brightness reaches 749 nits, higher than the official 500 nits listed. In reality, the device hits 749 nits, confirmed after calibration. Peak brightness can even go higher, almost 900. I'll compare brightness with other devices shortly. The CPU is the Z2 3.3 GHz. This CPU is basically no different from the 7840 or the Z1E, and the graphics card is also the same. It's the 780M. The only difference is the memory, which is a bit larger and has a higher frequency, 7,500 MHz. Because the older models, like the 7840, had 6,400 MHz memory, but this one is 32 GB at 7,500 MHz. Yeah, nothing much else to say. It has a 74 WH battery. It's actually pretty big, but considering the weight, it's also on the heavier side. It's rated for 65W charging, but in my test, it charged at 86W. I measured it using the display on my power bank, which showed 86W, confirmed with a solid-state test. Nothing else. The network card is MediaTek. That's all for the specs. Let's take a look. First, I'll test the controller for everyone. It gets recognized directly as an Xbox controller. Both sets of combined buttons work without any issues. I pressed the wrong one. These two up here are the front buttons. Yeah, it's actually the two down here. Is it these ones down here or this one? Controller interception. Let's also check the joystick's return to center. Drawing a circle. There's one issue with this controller. The light might stay on all the time. The seller replaced it for me. Alright, now let's take a look at the front end here, where there's a TDP adjustment. The front end works directly without any issues. There's a TDP adjustment here. Then, as for the fan, at full speed it runs at 5,000 RPM, but the noise isn't too loud. This is 5,000 RPM, and by default it's around 2,000 RPM. At 2,000 RPM, it's very quiet. There's power mode and this frame rate limiter. The professional frame rate limiter ranges from 30 to 144. For resolution adjustment and frame rate monitoring, it comes with a monitoring tool. There's super resolution. This RSR is for when you play games at 800p, like Monster Hunter or Wildlands. You set it to 800p, then use super resolution to upscale it. Controller configuration, and then things like vibration intensity. The vibration intensity is about the same as the Y700. Let me just mention that first. This is the teardown. This is the Y700. No, this is the Legion handheld first generation's controller motor, a small coin-type motor. I've used the first generation too, and there's no vibration. This second generation. This second gen motor I took apart, the same model as the one in the Y700, a Z-axis linear motor. This one is stronger in intensity, on par with the OnePlus 5S. It's not as strong as the big flagship ones, but you can definitely feel it. Plus, the tuning is decent. The vibration tuning is fine. It's not dumb, you know? So, on the second generation, the motor has been upgraded. And when I first bought this device, it looked like this. It came with a test system. So there was a big watermark on the screen. There will be a big watermark. But if you use KMS to activate it, the watermark disappears right away. But what I did was just reinstall the system, which made it a lot cleaner. So yeah, I just reinstalled it. Many of these machines are on Xianyu, seemingly hundreds. Most are old, with controllers often lacking paint. I bought mine early, asking the seller to select a few. For example, compare them to others listed on Xianyu. A lot of them have controllers with no paint left on the back, just bare plastic, all shiny. The one I have has a soft touch finish on the front, and the back has this texture pattern, yeah, like an anti-slip texture. It's relatively new. The shell, including the shell and the screen, are all pretty new too. So if you buy one, you can still pick out some that are in pretty good condition. Alright, let me talk a bit more about this machine. Let's go over the specs first. This model, the Z2, there are also Z and ZRE versions. You can find them on the market, but they're rare. The motherboard and all that are Lenovo assets. The RAM is Micron 780M, running at 7,500 MHz. You can upgrade it to 8 GB. As for the display, it's made by Samsung, and as mentioned, it's RGB with no loss in quality. It's a 1200p, 144 Hz refresh rate screen with VRR, variable refresh rate, a top-notch spec native landscape display. The chin here is bigger, while the sides are smaller. Plus, this device doesn't have a spot for a camera or anything like that. This chin is big, so this screen probably can't be used on Lenovo's 705 model. First, the Samsung panel's cost is reasonable, and its resolution suits Windows devices, as Windows struggles with super high resolutions. On Android, however, this screen appears blurry, making it unsuitable. The other network card is MediaTek's, which is superior to the H2110. Using the H210 for streaming on Windows causes issues. Every 10 minutes, a red error appears, leading to stuttering and dropped frames. This is a significant problem, so with this card, you avoid swapping it out. And there are some issues, like with WUXGA, the motherboard on the Han generation model is basically impossible to replace. Now, let's take a look at the hard drive. I already checked the battery with Lola before, and the battery health is at 100%. The hard drive is a 1 terabyte from Lenovo. Plus, the power on hours are extremely low, and there's almost no data written to it. When I first got it, the power on time was just 18 hours. So this machine is really new. Yeah, it's from 2025. It's a machine from November 25th, 2024. This is just alcohol. I used to wipe it down. No worries. Yeah, the screen is OLED, so it can get really black. Look at this ORE. This part here is also a bowl of rice bottle. Yeah, not much to say. Performance-wise, nothing special, just performs like a regular Windows machine. It's got the 7840, which everyone has seen, and a 74WH battery. Peripheral power consumption is high, so even at 74WH, it doesn't last long. It's set to 30W. Peripheral power draw is 48W, so at 30W, you'll only get an hour and a half use. The peripheral power consumption is a bit high. Over here are some pre-installed software. These programs came pre-installed on the engineering sample, which I backed up. Here, there are 2 boys files. I don't know which is newer since dates are the same. I flashed both and noticed no difference. This is the driver backup I made myself. But actually, you don't need to back them up. After reinstalling the system on this machine, all drivers are already there. No need to download any. Just update them right here, and everything will show up. Once updated, screen HDR will be recognized. As for the controller, once connected, you can use it directly with the central system. So don't worry, you won't have trouble finding original drivers after flashing the system, right? Nothing to worry about, drivers come pre-installed. And what about these detection programs? Lenovo comes with songs by Yigo Sang, which is unexpected. These are sensor detection programs that come with it. That's fine, further proves this is A. Yeah, this is an engineering sample. It's a machine engineers use for testing. These are factory-installed detection programs, mainly for checking sensors. This is also a backup driver, but ultimately none were used. This driver came with it, but wasn't needed. These are common drivers. You can even download Z2 drivers from AMD's official website, like the 780M driver. Now let's take a look at Lenovo's front end. In the front end, there are options like AMD, high performance mode, power saving mode, and then fan adjustment, FPS limit. I think I mentioned these earlier, right? Yeah, these are for adjusting the screen's refresh rate. This is for vibration adjustment. We didn't look at this last page. It basically covers commonly used shortcut keys. It's actually done well, including using these 2 buttons. You see, it even directly shows the Z2 controller icon. There are common shortcuts, like adjusting power consumption, where you can increase or decrease by 1 watt at a time. Then, there's switching controller modes, and directly bringing up the keyboard. For example, to boost motor vibration or bring up the on-screen keyboard, you use L+B, the keyboard can be brought up. And here, you can adjust the power consumption. You can set it to 29, 28, or 27 watts. This allows adjustment from 5 to 30 watts, and you can directly set it to 30 watts when unplugged. So this is its front end, and this page is just for limiting the external screen to the main line. And there's a so-called productivity mode, but honestly, it's not really useful. Alright, let me show you this as well. It's built-in program. I recommend turning off your internet before opening it, because otherwise it will automatically check for updates. There will be issues. If it automatically updates to that version, it will throw an error and won't open. So, open it with the internet disconnected, and then reconnect to the internet, and it'll work fine. Over here is the joystick button configuration. This is the joystick layout editor. All of these can be customized. The UI is pretty well done. I think this front end is probably the same as the one on the first generation of the Legion series, or maybe all Legion laptops use this front end. As for the joystick lighting design, my light here, this red light stays on all the time, which is an issue. They've already noted it, and will replace it for me. There are all sorts of lighting modes, Adjusting the joystick dead zone settings. Yeah, you can set up the turbo, set up the macro, and calibrate the controller. There's not much else under more. It's basically just the actual standby adjustment. Here, under performance, it's the same as over there. Just TDP and fan noise adjustment, basically TDP and fan settings. It's the same. For temperature, when gaming at full load with 30 watts, it keeps it down to just over 60 degrees, so the temperature is pretty low. This fan is indeed very quiet. Right now, it's just the regular online game library. This is Lenovo's game library. Some games don't have much content, and logging into your account here at the end doesn't serve any purpose. Here, they set up a game library. This one is to return to the desktop. Oh, and this one is to exit the front end. And this is the regular apps return to desktop. Yeah. Lenovo has actually done a pretty good job with this. Yeah, not much to say. 7840's gaming performance, same for everyone. The main reason is for this screen, as OLEDs are very rare. I used that Zotac one for a long time, then sold it. This is the bag it comes with, and inside are accessories for the controller. These are the accessories for the controller's mouse mode. There's a switch here. Flip it, and it switches to mouse mode. Then you plug this in. How do you use it? Oh, found it. How much is this? And this is the right button. How much is this? This is the left button. This is the right button. I just didn't feel the button on top. But if you press it like this, it still works. And this device comes with a stand. If you take it off, when you switch the controller to handheld mode, this side will automatically switch to the keyboard's WSAD keys. And over here is the mouse. You can also play after taking it off, since it's an 8.8-inch device. Still pretty big, a bit larger than traditional handheld consoles. No problem at all. 28 watts at 64 degrees. The TDP is 40, and the total system power consumption is 43 watts, sometimes 38 watts. So that's about an extra 10 watts of power usage. You can play for about 1.6 hours, and it's not even fully charged yet. With a full charge, it should last a bit longer. Right now, the battery is at 88%. For more demanding games, Ming Dynasty cars. Power consumption is running high. So here, you can see that the peripherals are drawing 32 watts TDP with a total peripheral power consumption of 52 watts. This is pretty demanding, so I'll set the graphics to medium. Next, let's compare the brightness. This machine, when I got here, there were no screws. No screws bottom cover, but other screws are there, showing inside. 2 battery fans. And the motherboard should be pretty small too, but there's still some empty space. So the battery doesn't completely fill it up. Alright, let's move on to the brightness comparison. Okay, here we go. This is the Lenovo Go 2, and this is my previous one with a red film in G8. This one is a bit lighter, and they're about the same size. This one is the Switch 2, especially the Switch 2 with the controllers attached. Let me charge it for a bit. The Switch 2 is already at maximum brightness with auto brightness off, otherwise it would be even dimmer. You can see this brightness. The NS2 is the dimmest, while the red film is the brightest. Its brightness is set to maximum, currently in high brightness mode. This brightness also has the second stage boost, available in versions 8 and 9, calibrated at 745. This is the size, and then the weight. The weight is definitely heavy. This is one of the heaviest machines, but I've gotten used to it because I use Zotac to train myself. The Zotac 700 film was 750 grams, and I used it for half a year. Switch 2nd Gen, 618 red film G8 Pro. 721. Oh, this one's even heavier. 938. Alright, that's all for the introduction.